Okay, folks, so let's just sum up the situation here in Group B. So far, the players at the top of the group are the players that you would expect to be near the top of the group. You've got Hera, who has only lost one game, and that was actually to Villese, who's number 2 in the group, and then you have Yo, who is number 3. Dragonstar, he was able to get a 2-1 victory against Barles, but unfortunately has been 3-0'd when he faced Hera, and then he was also 3-0'd when he faced Yo. He was close to getting victories in some of those games, but he wasn't able to close it out. He's got to be hungry at this point. He's got Villese, and then he's got Bra yet to play. And, you know, it's a conversation in this group about which two are going to be the bottom two, which players are going to drop out, and eventually have to fight their way back if they ever want to make it to Platinum. We have Dragonstar, the only really high-level player from India, the much-improved player, the player who's had a really solid year. He is playing as the Mayans here in the teal. And then in the red, we have Villese. My cat only continues to get louder as he wants to come in the room. And he's playing as the Burgundians. Man, I wish you could hear him, but I'm not going to mess with my microphone. Villese, well-established player, I would consider to be in the top 10. Oh, I'm not a good cat dad if I just crumble and let him come in here. I don't know what to do. Anyways, Mayans, again, for Dragonstar. A good Arabia pick here, but Burgundians, not one we've seen every single Arabia game. Players, though, have been picking Burgundians more and more. The Burgundian win rate has been going up and up, and there's been a lot of conversations about just how good this Civ's economy is. So I think for Dragonstar, for Villese, like some other players, they have kind of realized that this version of Arabia is more possible to wall than others. And, you know, it's also possible that you can even go small wall with this civilization. Again, it's not just that you can research your eco upgrades 1H earlier. It's that it's also cheaper. So it's a double whammy, and that's before you even talk about some of their other options later on in the game. But, yeah, I'd expect Dragonstar to be aggressive in this one. Both civs kind of known for walling up and going into some ranged units, at least on Arabia. But it's weird still, like... Yeah, you get Cavalier and Castle Age, but you have to survive to get there. Yeah, you can get your eco upgrades, but you do have to work for it a bit more. So I don't see Burgundians as being this super OP civilization on a more open map. I have been told, though, by like Nikov and Daniel and all these guys, and this was like months ago, about how Burgundians are top 5 on Arabia, regardless of the version, just because of how sick their eco is. And then I turn around and get Burgundians and think, wow, these other guys say they're really good, and then I haven't been able to really do too well with them. So, but the win rates for the Civ has been good. We've seen Burgundians win on Arabia a few times now, but clearly other players are in agreement. I just let my cat inside because it's storming outside. I thought you said snowing for a second, and I was like, wow, snow. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, if we were to let our cats outside at all, I'm pretty sure they would immediately... be devoured by some type of predator. This is not that we live amongst a lot of predators. It's just that our cats would have a big... They would essentially have an eat me sign on them because they're just so clearly wimps and so clearly house cats, they wouldn't stand a chance. We tell them that they're tough, you know, just in the off chance that they're a little self-conscious about how weak and how brittle they are and how wimpy they are, but they're not. Map-wise, it's pretty good for Dragonstar if he can get his walls down. You could have the wall off here. You could have the wall off here. I mean, the walls I can envision right now. Obviously, does have to work up towards that. He's currently trying to find his opponent. Hasn't found them just yet. Then you've got Villese. Villese also hasn't found his opponent just yet, but they might find them soon. You're from Florida as well? Yeah, so am I. There's not going to be any snow for us, man. Looks like this could be Men-at-Arms or straight archers. The timing on this makes me think it'll be Men-at-Arms for Dragonstar. And Villese, again, being very relaxed about this, playing in towards walls. If this would have been a different approach from Dragonstar, he could have denied the walls with some militia. But he didn't really know about it, and he decided not to do that. He's making the militia just now. I do like the idea of rushing a few late here and getting archers out, though. I feel like if you delay that against the Burgundians, maybe you could have some problems. And again, those walls continue for Villese, and he knows something might be up here because he just saw the eagle go this way. So he's just going to finish the walls, and Dragonstar's like, well, great. What do I do now? It's a very common feeling when you're up against Burgundians when they have great eco. And also, he's probably like, what is he doing? We'll have the barracks for Villese, which will actually be kind of late. And he's working his way towards walls. The only thing he can't take easily right now would be his gold. I have one smart cat who's outside all day. Stupid cat and sick cat. Luckily, stay around closer to home. Yeah. We used to have outdoor cats growing up, but it didn't work too well for the cats. Let's just put it that way. They did not fare too well in the elements. And then as I got older, my parents were like, yeah, no more outdoor cats for us. What a weird, just confident opening from Villese. Like, what? He's dropping a stable here? This is so weird. Also, he hasn't hit that palisade yet. The other villager was blocking it. What is this opening, man? I guess he didn't scout this at all. I mean, he's gone for the eco upgrades. He now has a Castle Age wood upgrade and whatnot. But what a weird opening. Again, just check his scouting. He didn't see the barracks. I don't know if he'll be able to protect these two villagers now. And maybe the dream start for Dragonstar. Behind this, Dragonstar is going to mix in some archers. Dragonstar will also have a spearman coming forward. And to have two villagers just stranded there is not going to be good for Villese's economy. And now Dragonstar has to block. Okay, so this is it's a fun little game called Who Can Click the Fastest. And apparently Villese can click the fastest, and he just saves the villagers. Man, that is so frustrating if you are Dragonstar. Like, what in the world? You don't kill any vills, and now there's scouts heading towards your base. Ethan says, why no arena in the map pool? Arena is the best map. Ethan, I'm assuming you know how to read because you know how to write. But there is arena in the map pool. So, in fact, we've had quite a few arena games. So, not sure what you're talking about there, buddy. We have the man-at-arms and the spearman here, guys. But the most important thing would be an archer follow-up. If you have an archer here, then it can kind of deny the walls. Most likely, they could see them come forward. Some players will use the spearman with the archers to just protect the archers as they move forward. Rude. Hey, it's all right. Ethan was sent here by his clowny friends. We're good. Ethan, I hope... it's all right. Ethan knows I'm joking. Ethan knows I'm joking. I hope. Oh, scout. They're on the spearman. It's just one spearman. They didn't fully engage, but 3 scouts with a hill can definitely take a fight there. And Villese has just defended everything so far so brilliantly, and he gets the block off and kills the villager. Dang. Oh, God. Cyro says every map is arena with extra steps. I feel like all of John Slow's pupils are typing in my chat right now. Some of these comments might as well come from him. Oh, dang. That tree was almost over-chopped there. That had 7 wood there. Villese actually places a new lumber camp on the edge there. He still hasn't dealt with this yet. He hasn't added an archer range. And he's actually bringing back his scouts right now. And so in some ways, I like how Villese has been able to protect his food in wood eco, and certainly he's got a lot of resources. But it definitely feels greedy for me, guys. Don't get me wrong, he's certainly getting away with it. Let's actually check now. You can see, oh my goodness, they've collected so much wood, which is going to lead to more farms as well, obviously. Has collected more food. This is why people are picking Burgundians, even on Arabia. Walls should go up for Dragonstar to protect that area. He's now trying to loop around. Honestly, he could just choose to deny the gold for as long as possible. I mean, Villese might end up selling some resources. Oh, wait, he might sell some stone and then just mine it back or something. But I like how Dragonstar is trying to pressure. He could have maybe tried to take out the stable, but Villese doesn't seem that interested in making more scouts. Why no AoE4 in this tourney? Because I don't like AoE4. It's an AoE2 event. It'd be very hard to combine the two. Dragonstar continues to try and pressure. Villese continues to be greedy. And it's extreme greed. Villagers could still die. He's adding skirmishers now. I think we're seeing the confidence that comes with being a player who is within most people's top 10s if you were to give rankings. I think Villese is definitely in that top 10 for me. Maybe somewhere around 7, maybe somewhere around 8. depending on the event, of course. Villese has just held it off and said, your faster fletching, your archers, none of this is going to do anything. Dragonstar on his way to Castle Age shortly, but we already have Villese on the way up. Lots of house walling for Villese, and he's made this defense look very easy. Why no StarCraft? We didn't feel like the StarCraft players would be good enough to compete with AoE2 players. It's not that I don't like StarCraft. It's just clearly those guys are just inferior esports players. Joking, obviously. I don't know a lot about StarCraft, but those guys are pretty good. So, and I still feel like if this tree would have been overchopped, this whole game changes. The fact that Dragonstar showed up there when he did actually hurt him. If he would have waited a moment, maybe it would have been different. Here come the skirms. They will have fletching. Dragonstar, again, must be a little frustrated here. Like, my goodness, I've not been able to break this guy at all. Villese just wants to take out the archers. And 5 skirms, 2-shotting the one-shotting the archer. No problem. Meanwhile, we have another force from Dragonstar. Still trying to break in. Must be wondering what Villese is doing and if Villese is on the way up, because Villese hasn't mined any gold. At Valley, I don't know. People are asking some interesting questions, so I am being a bit trolly right now. So if you ever wanted to get a troll response from me, this is probably the time. I guess you could drop the castle somewhere close to your gold so you can mine that. But you're definitely going to want a castle sooner rather than later if you're Villese. Definitely wants to go for his unique unit. Dragonstar's had a good game so far. It's 8-4 KD for Villese. Dragonstar in a position to still move forward with archers. He doesn't have many, though. It kind of looks like he's switching into eagles, which tells me he's not expecting his opponent is going to go for the Coustier. I think what he's expecting here is he's expecting Elite Skirm opening. That's why he's added these eagles. And Dragonstar is going to show this eagle. And if Villese were to see the army here, Villese is going to be like, yes! Baited him out of archers. Now I'm going to go for a unit that's very good against Eagle Warriors. Oh, you like T90 Rude Day. Okay, nice. TC for Villese. And he's had his Castle Age, Wood, and Farm upgrade for a long time this game. Let's actually double check the economies. Interesting how Dragonstar is still pretty on par. This castle, obviously, a bit of a risk in most cases, though. That's going to go up. Les will back away now. Les getting husbandry. He wants to make the Coustier. Dragonstar is going to see this and say, oh, yikes. What do I do? TC for him. Thank you for clearing that up. Yeah, you're welcome. Have any AoE2 players transferred to StarCraft 2? Viper played for a bit in the day. You'd have to ask him. I think he reached, like, a respectable level there. There was a guy who came over from StarCraft named Marine Lord, who now is one of the best AoE4 players. But when he switched to AoE2 for, like, 2 years, he was only able to get, like, top... He made it in the top 100 on the ladder, but he never really had any good tournament results. And obviously, with Microsoft injecting stupid money into AoE4, if he's doing well there, he should just stay there, right? So he has no real incentive to, like, continue to fight with AoE2. I don't know, like, it is interesting to me. Like, that makes me feel like AoE2 is a lot harder, but it's probably a statement that might not be based on reality. Maybe it's just not the rabbit hole we want to go down at the moment. So this unit has a charge attack, so its very first hit is insane. It's 8 plus 26. And then you've got the eagles. That won't be very effective. It's more so the crossbows you need now. Love how Villese has kept his skirms alive this game. And the whole approach has essentially been like, hey, come at me. Bring it on. What are you going to do? My eco is probably better than yours. And I think that's going to be the approach throughout the whole series. Villese showing Dragonstar respect in that he expects Dragonstar to be able to do some damage. But also, like, this whole opening, this whole game so far has shown, like, he knows he's the better player, and so he's just going to play like he is the better player. Not take any massive risks until he has to take risks. We'll back away here. And we have some monks from Dragonstar. Dragonstar 3 TCs as well, though. Does this feel like an inevitable victory for Villese right now? I want to ask you guys this, because based on the stats, it's not. But it feels like it, and I don't know why. I think what it is it's the name power. It honestly is the name power. And I think I need to get out of that habit as a caster and call the game as it is, maybe. Because Dragonstar, he's on stone to build up towards a castle, which could go forward. He's got crossbow numbers. He's getting relics. Dragonstar's doing a really good job. 60 villagers for both. I will check the resource collection, yes. Eco's very close. I think where the problem comes in is the wood and food eco. When you invest into that farming upgrade so early, you start to save a lot more wood at this stage, which can lead to a couple other things. But it's a close game. I think the thing that sucks for Dragonstar is all this gold for Villese is back here. And so he can't really think of an area to push at the moment. I think the power spike that Mayans need to shoot for is still Arbalest. And I'm a little surprised that we're still continually seeing Eagles from Dragonstar, but I guess he's worried that Elite Skirm could be researched by his opponent. And oh! Whoa, these units dive! They ran right up the hill. And we'll see monks try and get conversions. I honestly feel like one of the conversions came in on a very weak unit there. Actually, one of the monks converted a weak one. The other monk didn't get a conversion at all. In the end, I mean, I don't know if it's worth it for either player. Dragonstar obviously lost a lot. But in the end, Dragonstar gets a conversion. And he gets quite a few kills here in the end. I was expecting Villese to pull back. The fact that he dove in for that when he didn't have the final armor upgrade on his units was a bit of a surprise for me. He maybe wants to drop a forward castle, though. Here he comes with more army, more crossbows, more eagles engaging. Monk does not go down. And yeah, the Kusti are going to wreck the eagles. This unit's just insane. I'm trying to get used to it. I'm still so against charge attack. It's still something that I think is a balance nightmare. This Burgundian civilization has been so good on Arena. It's been so good on Arabia even recently. But Dragonstar has 4 relics, and he's got the Mayans. And the Mayans have been beastly for years. He's backing up to the hill. Feels like conversions are necessary because the Eagles have just not worked out. So if he gets 1 or 2 conversions... Actually, it was going to make it 3, and he gets 1. He kills 1, and he converts 1. This castle will lead to more stone income for Villese. Adds TC number 4. It's so tough for Dragonstar to damage this economy. It feels like Dragonstar's wide open, but because of these woodlines not being taken, it's like Villese can't be hit. Now, eventually, he's going to have to take that woodline, but for the time being, he's not. Yeah, I'd love to see ballistics. And I think that's a really good castle for Dragonstar. I also love how he's starting to house wall and stonewall this area because he knows he won't have the mobility, most likely. He also has the house walls here. Still holding the hill. Here comes Villese. Guys, I'm such a big Dragonstar fanboy. He's such a good guy. He's such a great player. He's had an amazing year. And in talking to him, he felt like he could get results against some of the players, but the ones that he didn't think he could get results against, he's already played. Can he possibly get results against Villese here? Can he complete this castle? I think he can. Again, the conversions were just enough. The crossbow number just high enough. Very shocked that Villese still doesn't have +2 armor. Running up those hills, taking some hits. Just things that you would expect to be researched before the fights. That's 2 fights now he has taken before +2 armor. He clicks up to the Imperial Age. And now we have Imperial Age for Dragonstar. Now, is Dragonstar going to switch into plumes? Is he going to try and go halbs? Is he going to make more ranges? Right now, it feels like more crossbows is the answer. He's going to use the units he just converted to see if he can get into his opponent's eco. 4 relics to 1, so in the long run, better in that way for Dragonstar with gold collected. And eco upgrades as a whole, pretty even overall. I say that, and I now see the handcart isn't in, and then, you know, the second farm upgrade. Those are not that important for the Mayans. It's more so, can you produce a crap ton of army? He's being very relaxed about the army production right now, but he is producing out of every building he's got. And this villager going to... Okay, he knows about the gold, too. And now he's going to lose all of his eagles. He's lost a lot of eagles this game. I think he's expecting the skirms, so that's why he made them. He's going to wall here. I like this wall a lot, actually. Maybe sending a couple lumberjacks to just to try and take what you can of this gold would be nice. And wow, he's going to wall there. And here as well. Guys, this could be an epic, epic, epic post-imp battle. But surely there's going to be a hole, right? Like, there's so many house walls, it feels like there's going to be a hole. I'm just waiting for it. Oh, there is a hole over here. Ah! No. Oh, I hope that doesn't end up being a problem. Even if Villese were to sneak villagers back there, that would be amazing. Oh, no. And he has no vision there. Wait, he's checking. He's checking. Okay, so he's double checking by clicking a villager behind. And he should know that there's a hole now because his units are pathing that way. Now, what he doesn't know as he walls all this is that the army's actually running back there. Okay, now he knows. So now it sucks because he doesn't know where to go. And this army gains so much value now. Actually, maybe he didn't notice that. Also, we have army here for Villese. Villese is going to stop this wall. So full walling your base is such a difficult thing against good players because they're just going to be moving around all the time. We will have Halb for Dragonstar, though. And this army is kind of funneled in towards the Halbs at the moment. You can see he's clicked through into the Halbs. It'd be amazing if Dragonstar could somehow wall this, but no, the units will run through. Okay, so this wall actually completes, which is kind of interesting. This wall will not complete, but there's walls everywhere. More stone walls than I've seen in an Arabia game in years. I don't mind the approach at all from Dragonstar. You can tell why he wants to wall out the raids, because he doesn't have the speed. But at the end of the day, I mean, I guess this army could be dealt with. You could drop this castle here as well. Oh, God, but now there's another army to deal with. Again, the first attack. Now, isn't it like 40 damage from the first attack with the elite version of this unit? It's not a very expensive unit. And, oh, geez, Dragonstar is getting wrecked. There's also a couple units over here. His Halbs, I guess he probably patrolled them over or something and forgot. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, guys. Oh. I need a second. That's so sad. That is so sad. I mean, listen, I don't agree with GGing at 150 pop with 4 relics. I don't agree. I do think that he is going to be completely and utterly destroyed because of Villese's eco is monstrously ahead at this point. But you still have to ask some questions of Villese. You still have to have Villese kill you first. Now the KD, I'm sure like the eco KD, the military KD, the stats with the upgrades, now the eco shot ahead, that's all great. But Dragonstar, you're at 150 pop, man. Yeah, maybe a ranked GG, not a tournament GG. Painful, painful, painful. Now, I feel bad for him as well because the wall approach was spot on. If that other army doesn't get through, it's a completely different game. That's the problem with walling. You need to make sure you're walled everywhere. Yeah, I just don't see how Dragonstar would stop Elite Coustier, Bomber Cannon, and Skirms in a second. Like, this wall would probably go down. The pressure comes in on the castles. Elite Skirm alone is going to destroy Dragonstar, so he probably is going to die. But he isn't dead yet. So, sad times for him. Oh, man. And again, it kind of felt inevitable. Villese is like, oh, okay, 101 kills, 38 units lost. Yeah, my Civ is really insane when you can play it right. I think Villese did that. It was so ballsy to go out here originally, didn't lose the villagers, didn't mine any golden feudal age, still ended up getting the gold and getting the eco and getting his unit. Game 1 was extremely painful. I'm still not over it, so I need you guys to ask me questions about Ice Cream or Life or AoE 2, or all three of those things, because I need to forget about it. Dragonstar resigned with 156 population. I do believe he would have died, but I would have liked to have seen him play on a little bit longer there. Sad times, sad times. He's gone for the Mongols here. And the Mongols are one of the best Serengeti civilizations. This is his home map. So he's wanting to be aggressive. Clearly, Villese is very good at being defensive if you saw the first game. There's a lot of hunt on this map. You can see already how he's going out for his rhino. And then he's also trying to push in an ostrich. Aztecs also are top tier on this map. Both civs are actually very good at laming. We could see the Eagles or the Scout come forward to try and steal some resources. Openness everywhere you look. I've noticed, though, that both players seem to have their hunt in the same spot. So some players, or sorry, some generations will have 4 and 4, and they'll be in separate spots, but they're actually in the same spot for both players, which is actually pretty convenient for them. Do you like Rocky Road ice cream? Yes, I do like Rocky Road ice cream. Any moose tracks recently? I have not actually had ice cream recently. I don't know why I thought of ice cream. What do you think about splitting up Chinese to different dynasties like they did with the Indians? Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Have nightmares about it. Hope they don't do it. I don't think they'll change Chinese, but I think they're going to try and do the same things with other civilizations. And you know what bothers me even more is how we still have lobby bugs that are ruining the integrity of tournaments, and how we still don't have ranked team games where you can stay in your party after you finish a game. And they're talking about new DLCs. So I really hope, and yes, I'm going to make a video on this, I really hope that they fix certain aspects of the game and improve certain aspects of the game before releasing another DLC. That's my opinion on that. This is good. This is distracting. Here comes Villese. No laming whatsoever, which is not necessarily bad, particularly for Dragonstar, because Dragonstar is getting as much hunt as possible. Ariane says, happy birthday, T90, to me. Oh, happy birthday. Is it actually your birthday? Man, I knew you were old. This just confirms it. What if they kept Chinese but added other Chinese historical civilizations? Okay, so I'm not against DLCs, but I'm against creating new DLCs when the money's not going back into the game where there's clear issues. And I'm against talking about and getting excited about new DLCs when the present DLC has issues. I'm a competitive guy, and I like the game to be balanced, and I like things to come when the time is right. I do the same thing with my events. I'm going to do an event if I feel like the time is right with all the different factors. So, yeah, I mean, they've done decent jobs with the DLCs, but I just don't think it's a time where I would have that on my radar right now. That's where I'm at. Dragonstar is going to click up here. And to me, it looks like this is going to be a scout build. He hasn't had a lot on wood for an early barracks. He's still happily pushing all of his hunt. It would make sense to go for scouts. But yeah, we have Hindustanis and Gurjaras, which the players kind of want to globally ban from the game right now. And it's been 4 months, and we haven't seen anything addressed. And then you have Dravidians and Bengalis, which the players also feel like are very weak. And there also hasn't been changes, so I don't know. It's tricky because, what percentage of players do you think care about balance and the introduction of DLCs at the proper time and overall game features like maybe I do? What percentage of people out there? 1%? Maybe 2? Maybe 3? So that's where it gets tricky because I have a very wide audience and I try and recognize everyone's perspective. Also, from Microsoft's perspective, ka-ching, 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 right? Like, if there's money on the table, people are going to buy stuff. What are they going to prioritize, right? But I believe there's a world where you can have the DLCs and have Microsoft make their money and have these events and have all these things. I believe that world exists where you can have everything with a proper flow. And we can have potentially new DLCs. It's just in its proper time. I think everyone can be happy, so. We'll see what happens, I suppose. Anyways, that distracted me from the previous game. I wanted you guys to do that, so thank you. Dragonstar making the stable now. And there's quite a bit of food in the bank. He's got 600 food. It actually takes me back to the day where I used to play Yucatan that had a lot of hunt. And I used to go stable and blacksmith opening at low elo. And I would rush fast forging with Mongols. I love to do that. Oh, those were the days, man. Now, obviously, I mean, there were probably some weaknesses to my strat, and if I didn't kill the person right away, I would have some problems, but back then, that was the thing. I loved it, and that's kind of what Dragonstar is shooting up towards. He is not going to go for the blacksmith right now, but he does have the scouts, and you can tell Villese is expecting some pressure. This just screams confidence. I'm not even going to invest the full wood to build the palisades so I can delete these later and save a couple wood. This just screams confidence. I would build those palisades, but Villese is doing a good enough job here. Just playing defensive. He's playing into some skirms. He's playing into some spearmen right now, and what do you know? He builds the palisade there. See what the choice is for Dragonstar. This is where the decisions need to be made. Also, not getting the horse collar upgrade. So still believing this game could go on for a long time. It's fairly standard off of scout builds to get the horse collar upgrade so your farms last a while. Trying to keep this open right now. He's got 4 scouts now behind enemy lines. So 1 spearman would not be enough against 4 scouts. T90, when you said Yucatan, I thought you were going to say... No, I have absolutely no clue what you're talking about, Lil Flurry. T90, what about bringing fans into the stream? We can do a couple of chants, a bit of drums, instead of some flares to create an atmosphere. Yeah, I'll consider it. Sounds like a fantastic idea. I'm sure it wouldn't be distracting at all. When you get an email from me, you'll know it's your turn, okay? There's the archer range now for Dragonstar. There's a lot of army out here, and he actually broke through. He actually broke through, and he's going to get a bit of blocking down. He really needs to get this villager kill, and he will. Well played, Dragonstar there. Meanwhile, he's over here. Killed 2 villagers. So while Dragonstar, you know, he went through all the motions in the previous game. It built up towards Imp. And then he eventually got rolled over and disappointed many of his fans, possibly, whether early resign or just himself, that he had to resign at that stage. He's actually looking really good. And Villese has just been defense, defense, defense. And Villese is to be careful. The spearman's going to go down, and Villese will lose 3 villagers now. Not 3 more villagers, obviously, but a 3rd villager in total. Now, at home, he's prepping some ranged units because he knows this could be an issue. This will be the first time Villese has moved out all game. Look at Villese. This guy just wanted to wall up. He still has scouts behind him. He has to wall again so he can take his gold comfortably, but here he comes. And there's so much army for Dragonstar. I love how he's playing it. Small hiccup here to get housed. Here we go. There's 2 spearmen. If you take out the spearmen, everything else is fine. And I think Villese noticed that. I think he did. I could be wrong. Yep. Now he knows. The Dragonstar's got 2 armies to control. Kind of feels like 3 at this stage because normally, let's say these scouts didn't exist. You would have the scout on one control group and you'd have the range units on another. So this army or this army could struggle with control in theory. Your Dragonstar, you've got to punish Villese for how he's opened this. And you've got to make houses, man. This is the 2nd time in a row he's getting housed. His production's stalling out of his TC and his range because of getting housed. Here come the scouts trying to group up with the rest of them. In the end, probably not worth it. He's lost 2, almost 3 scouts there. He's getting armor now. Does have fletching as well. But now this is going to be that fight we talked about where the scouts are all grouped together and then the ranged units have their own control group. A point would be amazing for Dragonstar. He desperately needs a point. And here comes Villese up the hill. Villese up the hill. He's actually had a great fight so far, but armor's now in for Dragonstar. Is this the fight that you really want to take if you're Villese? He will kill a lot of scouts, but I don't think so. I think he'll lose these archers, and Dragonstar has the potential to now counterattack. The thing for Dragonstar is he's starting to switch in archers now. He needs to be hitting fast because Villese is saving a lot more resources for Castle Age. And that's the MO for Villese. That's the strategy. He's lost 3 villagers, so he feels like if I can play into Eagles and Castle Age, maybe I'm okay here. Quickly walling up. I don't think there's actually any holes here. If there was a hole, it would be there. I don't think there is because I think Villese tried to click out and it didn't work. It looks like there's a hole, though. Does that not look like a hole? And now archers are on the way. And now this villager... No, it's all right. The scouts shouldn't follow in here. Oh, but the villager will die. Doink! He's dead. Also, there is a hole. There is a hole. That's 5 villagers down for Villese. Guys, Dragonstar, he's got 2 wins in this group. Almost everyone else is losing to Villese, except for Hera so far. If this continues, if Dragonstar can get this win and maybe get some momentum going into the next game, this would be massive for his chances to stay up in the group. He's getting a lot of kills. He has forced a tower out of Villese, but he's all in feudal age right now. The total KD is 20 to 16. Now that that tower goes up, though, can you really do anything against Villese? Oh, God. Oh, I still feel like Villese could maybe get away with this. This is so tricky. So he realizes that pressuring this area is going to come with very little reward. So now he sees the tower, and he's going to loop to the wood line. I love how he's not hesitating. He immediately moves over. I also love how Villese is going to go all in Eagles. Eagles destroy Feudal Age army. Dragonstar is wide open. He has no walls. He needs to keep pressuring here because if those Eagles start heading to his base, he'll have some big problems. So here's the ranged army. Again, enough archers in here to kill villagers. Villese, more defense. Villese has 10 on gold. He's got plenty of farms. You don't need much wood in this situation. He's also got some skirms. He's going to try and whittle down the archers. Dragonstar selling some stone. He's desperate. He doesn't want to sell the last stone, guys. He doesn't want to sell it. He knows he'll probably need a TC to protect himself. So he's waiting. And in the end, he's going to click up. There he goes. Okay, what do you get? Or sorry, what do you make if you're Dragonstar? I think you go Knight Step Lancer. I can't believe I just said Step Lancer. But yeah, I think you have to go Knight Step Lancer. I also think if you can take engagements against these Eagles before they're upgraded, it's going to be a whole lot better for you. But he's falling back. He doesn't know where it is. He knows he needs to react a lot now. 2 minutes away from the next stage. If he could, in theory, wall in all of his villagers, he would be okay. But that's a lot of walling to do. Starting with the small walls now. Sees the Eagles here. And now this is the situation where you're not doing much damage. There's an opportunity for Villese to possibly, you know, add the second TC. I don't think after losing 5 villagers that would be the proper play here. Would love to see him rush the second armor, but his eco is kind of at the limit as some of his farms are starting to expire. And Dragonstar protecting his vills here. Still trying to hold on. He'll have quite a bit of food when he hits the next stage. And I think... Well, certainly you've got to make knights. But if you get to a point where you don't have the gold for more knights, then you definitely have to mix in some step lancers here. Mongols having more HP makes that an actual strategy. I think any other civilization step lancers is probably not very strong. I think a fine mix could do well for Dragonstar, as he still has not lost any villagers. And here we have the knights. The beautiful thing here, too, is that you probably don't need many upgrades just yet. My God. I don't think there's a hole. Oh, geez. Now the farmers have to be dealt with. No forging for Villese kind of hurts. But he has killed a villager. And, man, what a hold from Dragonstar. What an aggressive opening. And what a hold. But, guys, Villese isn't finished. He's likely going to drop a second town center. He also is going to have monks collecting the relics on the map, maybe getting conversions here. Dragonstar has had such an amazing year with Age of Empires 2 tournaments. There's one event in particular called World Rumble that didn't allow, I think, the top 10, or maybe it was the top 16. He won the whole thing. But based on that result, he's 17th in the world, I guess, right? But if even that were the case, it's very hard to get the defined rankings. That's obviously, you know, that means that he's one of the favorites to get relegated from the top 24. And that's not what he's going to want. I think his goal coming into this was probably to just stay up. Get 4th place or up, show what he's capable of. That would send Bruh, Barles, like 2 of Bruh, Barles, Villese, or Hera down. And right now, it seems like it's a fight between him, Bruh, and Barles. And he already beat Barles 2-1, but Barles was able to get some good results the other day, and so the pressure's on. Man, what a game this is. 69 population for both. This is amazing. This is amazing. I'm loving this game. Also, I love how Villese is snagging the relics. This map, you run out of gold very quickly. You only have a couple tiles of gold at your base, and you can see both players, they're exposed with their golds, but they have to look for more of them. And so getting the relics, and now we see a TC on this gold, is huge. Particularly with the Aztecs, right? Feels like this is the Mongol composition you want to see. As a caster and as an AoE fan for you guys, seeing the Cav Archers behind the Scout Rush is just something you get excited about. And you don't see it all the time at the high level. Don't tell me. That timing's obnoxious. Get out of here with that. Just perfect timing with the TC. My TC would be denied at 97%. Oh, God. Gate for Villese or something. He could trap. Garrison, maybe. Conversions. Monk. Drops the relic. Is going to die. Doesn't get the conversion. This monk goes down. Meanwhile, we have eagles here. And we have eagles here, but they're just killing skirmishers. In the end, not too bad for Dragonstar, but I think he does need to back away from the town center. And that army count for Villese is something else right now. Thing about eagles that makes them so strong is not necessarily their stats. Yes, it is some of the fact that Aztecs produce faster. But it's the fact that you can just slap a bunch of ills on the gold and spam them. Knights are very heavy on food, as are the Steppe Lancers. So you can see he doesn't have a lot of melee units in queue right now. It's just a lot of ranged units because he has wood and he has gold, but he doesn't have the food. Also, eagles, similar to knights, you can spread out and you can go for the small raids. What a great game. This is an amazing game. And I do believe the Cav Archers could do something too. There was a time where we would see Huns versus Aztecs a lot in some maps in tourneys. And people would just get to a critical mass of Cav Archers in Castle Age, and then the eagles don't stand a chance. We could maybe see that here in a second. 5 Pierce Armor against a Cav Archer, which does 8 damage. So they're doing 3 damage a hit with 55 HP. And then, of course, once Ballistics is in, mixed in with a couple Knights, it can end up being very strong. Eco KD is now going to be 6-5 for Villese. Dragonstar still pushing forward, trying his best to snipe any monks when he sees them. And there's a Siege Workshop now for Villese, and I think the correct play would be to do that. And then go for Scorpions. But yeah, you're just not going to be able to produce villagers out of your TCs and be able to make Knights and Steppe Lancers at the same time. Not on this map. I think in a normal game, it's not quite as open. You could probably justify that. Crazy game. Also, man, I love the bots here. It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh my God. Thank you, Zishan. I appreciate it. I've been meaning to actually look for a new job. Mods, we'll take care of that, I hope. Cav Archers could break in here pretty quickly. You notice Villese has fallen back. And he's just sitting, he's just soaking up the pressure at the moment. Dragonstar, he's used to that after the early game, and now he's like, do I leave? Do I come in here or what? I guess I'm out of here. And yeah, there he goes to run. Cav Archers are here on the open hill. Yep, mods are maybe AFK at the moment, so we're just going to let that one go. Don't click links, chat. Thank you very much. Lots of gold secured. We've got golds here. We've got golds here. Let's look at gold scouting. That's about it. He's only able to see what he's taking right now. And Dragonstar's got to think ahead on that as well. He's not seeing any of the gold over here. Not seeing any of the gold there in the corner. Oh, God. This is going to be so tough for Dragonstar. How do you kill those monks? Also, thank God we're seeing Sanctity. I've been screaming Sanctity so much recently. Particularly with Aztecs. Get more HP, man. Get more HP on those monks. It could make all the difference. This is the best case scenario fight for Dragonstar. He's on top of the hill. His knights are there. The monks are not getting conversions. It's still so close. Now, a lot of eagles have gone down. And now we have the crossbows sniping the monks before Sanctity comes in. I love how Dragonstar's using the crossbows here against the monks. He knows how dangerous that is. But he also recognizes how ineffective the crossbows are going to be compared to the cav archers right now. And dang! Dang, he got all 3. Guys, Dragonstar's desperate for gold. He's placing a TC that is not in a gold. We just saw him sell things at the market. Dragonstar is desperate for the gold. And Villese has 3 relics with the Aztecs. And I think with this much control, Villese could easily scout for the extra golds. I love the Scorpion play. And I love the Cav Archer play. But it's looking like Villese can do more now. He's starting to think about mixing in skirmishers. And after an amazing game from Dragonstar, I mean, that opening killed 5 villagers. Villese is still here, and it feels like he's on top. He's going to get a couple nice hits here with the Scorpions. It's weakening some of those Cav Archers. 80 villagers for both, but that could so easily change with so many villagers exposed on either side right now for Dragonstar. What's funny is Dragonstar's got the score lead. He's got the KD lead. And he actually has crazy farming eco right now. I suppose in theory with the Mongols, you could go for the light cav. Maybe he needs to pull Vills up here for a second. Okay, just kind of, yeah, just pull him up here. Villese will run away. You can go back to your stone now. Villese is really starting to crank it up with the raids, though. As he's switching into skirms, he's going with small groups of eagles into these different areas. And so now more villagers have been killed. That's going to be 13 villagers killed this game. They get 14 villagers killed this game. And no forging surprises me. I feel like that does help when it comes to picking off vills. Still killing plenty of vills, so can't complain too much, I guess. Villese controlling the game. Here comes the next wave. Aztecs are insane. Their production, man. What they're able to do once they have a few relics. I think it's too tough for Dragonstar to break at this point. I mean, it's been an amazing game from Dragonstar. He's not playing a bad game at all. He's tracking all these armies. Uh-oh. Looks like that monk is actually going to snag that relic. Thank you very much. But my word, man. Having to chase this many armies, this much army, I guess would be the way to say it, is really adding up for Dragonstar. Still, he's at 92 vills. Someone explain that to me. He's pumping out vills like crazy. That's the answer. But now will Light Cav do something for him here? Because he needs an answer to the skirms. The mods are looking for jobs too. That's funny. I just caught that. Does have 2 stables. Dragonstar sees this area as an area of weakness. So here he comes with everything now. He does lose the stable. So now he's on 1. Does have wood to make more. Really struggling with gold income. But he did see this gold in the south. I wouldn't surprise me if he goes over there soon. That gold count for Villese is insane. I'd love to see him get upgrades like final armor on his skirmishers. And Dragonstar even using the light cav there to snipe a couple monks, which is smart. But man, those cav archer numbers, not high enough. I think 15 is about 10 off of what you would want here. 25 cav archers. Suddenly things are feeling stronger. But guys, as Dragonstar has lost farmers, he's added farmers, he's still in this game. He is still in this game for sure. Villese, he's relying mainly on skirmishers right now, and he might have to respect the light cav. And look at that from Dragonstar. You can tell why I'm hyped about the guy. You can tell why I believe in him and why I want to see him show the world what he's capable of. He's playing so well here. And oh god! We have a castle from Villese, but he doesn't have the army to protect it. His army is at the other side of Dragonstar's base. Dragonstar will drop this castle, and he will complete this castle, and he will deny Villese's castle, while also using the light cav over here to maybe clear parts of this up. Now, he doesn't have armor yet, and that's something he's really been missing. But that goes for the skirms for Villese as well. Dang. And now he's also going to mix in Mangadai, which is slightly better than cav archers. Obviously, you know, still pretty even at this stage of the game. I've been watching the raids at Dragonstar's base, and I keep thinking that it's going to add up, and eventually he's just not going to be able to make it to Imp, or he's just going to run out of gas. But somehow this guy, with these gas prices, has been able to keep chugging and lugging here. Getting a relic there in the corner. But, oh, geez, the Cav Archer number is still very low. He's down to 4 Cav Archers now. Has it finally taken his toll? There's just a point where you've had to, as you lose villagers, add so many more on top of spending all the food in the light cav, where you're just stuck in Castle Age as your opponent can go to the Imperial Age. We haven't looked at Vilese's economy much at all. I mean, his economy looks fantastic behind this. Was able to get a castle defensively here. Is actually going for Adlatl, which gives his skirms +1 range and +1 attack. And every time he sees a Cav Archer, he goes in for it. Still producing eagles. Still producing skirms. I would say the opportunity for Dragonstar is now. You've got a bigger mass than you had before. It's 22 army versus 40. You need to kill that group of skirms. Whoa, that was a really weird lag. I'm sorry about that. It happened earlier today as well. And this is a wreck. This game happened earlier in the day, so I don't know what's happening. But, oh, I think we're seeing Dragonstar die. The second time we've seen Aztecs have a worse KD and just completely dominate the game. We saw it in an earlier series as well. It's just so crazy what this Civ is capable of. And we know why you pick Mongols. We saw the attack happen for Dragonstar. Dragonstar was able to kill 5 villagers and have a big lead in Feudal Age. But now we're seeing why you pick Aztecs. And why they're seen as one of the best civilizations in Castle Age. Lycav still should be finding some value here. I mean, these Eagles don't trade the best right now. Still don't necessarily want to throw away skirmishers to kill Cav Archers. Will be a 4th relic on the way back for Villese, which I just saw a moment ago. And now Dragonstar has the population lead. Can't help but feel like this TC is very important for Villese as he goes for that gold. Made a tower here for Villese. That'll get battered down. The light cav and the Cav Archers are chewing up army before it's all upgraded in the Imperial Age. Dragonstar's kind of doing this, guys. Now, he probably needs to go imp himself, but he also has to make a decision on if that's even worth it. Obviously, it's nice, but you're going to need army because there will be continuous production from Villese. Just another day of recording nonstop, and another day I need to delete some files because I've run out of space. And I have yet to fix that issue at the crucial moment of the game. Sorry about that. The alternative is we upload from the stream VOD, but the stream VOD is worse quality. And I'm not okay with there being worse quality. So, just going to deal with that on the fly real quick for everyone who's watching. My apologies. I should be able. We have just this recording for the day, and then I should be able to adjust for tomorrow. Okay. Dang, he's up, man. Dragonstar is up. What in the world? What in the world? How is he doing this? Also, he's going to see this. This is unprotected right now. So as he starts to make outposts, he could possibly raid those areas on the sides. What a weird army for Villese. He got Bracer, but he doesn't have any skirms anymore. Now he's going for Elite Eagle, but he only has 6 of them. He could maybe go Pikeman, but he doesn't know where to go or what to make. And as we see a stable right next to this, Dragonstar saw the gold there earlier, so he's thinking there's still gold there when it's not. Villese is falling off, and Dragonstar's raids are really going to start catching up with him. Dang. Yeah, Pascal, I'm going to get it sorted. It's just recording very high quality. And not like super high quality, but like much better quality than is normally streamed, and just been recording all day, every day, it seems like these days. I'm looking at the unit queue for both players, and it's starting to ramp up. But for Dragonstar, if he's able to get Hussar... Oh, man, I don't even know. Because, yeah, if he gets Hussar, that's great. But if it is Skirmisher Pikes with Aztecs, I feel like full trash is actually kind of decent, depending on the map, how it plays out. He's going to place a castle in this corner to protect his farming eco. He's not repairing this castle right now, so I feel like he's just going to allow this one to go down. Really needs to deal with this. He needs this gold. Also, Villese with those relics has plenty of gold. It could start to raid with Elite Eagles now. Also taking gold over here. Are Eagles really good at this at a map with low gold if this game goes on long? That's definitely a talking point. I personally feel like they're amazing. Because Villese was able to control the map to get relics, and Villese was able to control the map to get more golds with how he played with his Eagles. So I think it's, yes, it's more costly, but also it's what you gain from it, and I think he's gained a lot from it. But I can see what you mean. Is we have Garland Wars! That's +4 attack onto the pikemen and the Eagles. All infantry for Aztecs +4. But where's the infantry? I'm not seeing any infantry over here. All the pikemen that are there are going to die to the ranged units, you would think. These trebuchets could all go down for Villese. Meanwhile, though, villagers are getting massacred on this side. Though the castle fire is obviously a huge help, and there's not many elite Eagles. Dragonstar, you have to take these trebs. You have to take these trebs. You cannot let these trebs get away. And he's going to get them. Dang! He's going to get them! One of the best games we've seen on Serengeti. One of the best games we've seen maybe the entire day, maybe the entire event, and still not completely sure who is going to win this game. Dragonstar is so hungry, guys. He needs this victory for the overall standings. No one else has been able to get wins against Villese, except for Hera, excuse me. Hera was able to go 2-1, but it just kind of expected that Villese is going to go through. It's expected that maybe Dragonstar's competition near the tail end of the group are all players that would get 3-0'd by Villese. So he will drop a castle here. Now, that's kind of sad. You've got a 2 HP Eagle wrecking his vills. But he has really spread his wings, and he's flying now. Though they're not hussars, so he's got no wings, but I think you understand what I mean. I still do think that Villese, with those strong skirmishers and those strong pikemen, is in the better spot. But this is a start. Taking this out, mining more stone, eventually mining that gold is a start. This is a ridiculous game. You need Mangadai for the pikemen. You need the light cav to do a decent enough job against those Eagles. And you need to hope and you need to pray that Villese runs out of gold. You're not getting elite Mangadai in this game, so just forget about it. But you will get as many upgrades as you can, like, Parthian possibly, armor, anything to just keep the Mangadai in a better spot. I think all the gold that you should be investing into beyond Mangadai would be the Hussar upgrade. Because there is a big jump in stats if you get Hussar. Also, maybe the second attack upgrade. Villese is really good at controlling games as he loses army, though. It's like he loses the army there, but that's for a position. He's got a castle here already. He's going to have a castle here. And it's like he's ready for the next wave. 25 Eagles. 30 Eagles now. That's a lot of Eagles with 8 attack. I like the insistence upon raiding for Dragonstar. I like how it's a continuous thing for him. I also like how Dragonstar is able to take this gold, but I hope he does get it. Villese, I think, is just going to end up walking away with that gold. The villagers are going to die as they run into the castle. This might be the fight right here. 200 pop for the Finnish pro. The eco is very similar, but that army count is not. And his villagers will die back here. Villese will deal with it. And this needs to be dealt with. That is so many Eagles. These villagers are going to make a barracks. That'll probably be dealt with. Finally, we have some gold income for Dragonstar. Again, I love the light cav raids. This stable has really paid off. That's some gold that you can deny from your opponent. Oh, what's his plan with his golds, guys? He's making more Mangadai. Don't mind it. Again, you need a lot of firepower here against these Eagles. If you take care of this batch of Eagles, you might win the game as Mongols. I can't wait to look at the relics and how much gold that is brought in this game. With Aztecs, it's got to be above 3K at least. 3K, maybe even 4K at this point. Continuous queue for Villese. We have the fight. Feels like the attack on the Eagles is going to dominate, though. And look at the skirms. And Villese knows it. Villese knows it. He's going to waltz forward and drop a castle on this hill. He's slowly creeping in. We do have Hussar on the way, though. It was probably the right move for Dragonstar not to take the fight. But now it becomes even tougher for him. Because he doesn't have control of the game. He can't allow this to go up. But if he would have taken that fight without Hussar, I think he would have lost the fight and then lost the game. It's so tough. I guess that's an okay position for him to fight. He's trying to also relocate for wood lines at this point. He doesn't have any wood. I mean, this could be He could lose 20 villagers right here. I'm surprised Villese doesn't see that. Looks like he does. Still some raids from Dragonstar. What's the eco KD this game? There's been so many trades of villagers going down. My castle position so nice. Hussar now in though. 118 HP on these Hussars. And Mangudai don't necessarily have to be elite to be strong. But you're doing 2 damage a hit against the Eagle. And the Eagle's got 17 attack when it does get hits. And the skirms outrange the Mangudai. And you need castles to produce Mangudai, which he's trying. This barracks is actually producing some Eagles, which is really smart. Can't believe he's actually able to complete that. What an epic thing that's going to be. So it's both players are losing villagers. You have the main fight, and Dragonstar's falling off. And I feel so bad for the dude. Because he has played so well, man. There's 50 Eagles. You just can't kill the Eagles. So back to what I'd said earlier. I think Eagles are good because of how much gold control it can give you. And with Aztecs, the production speed in Castle Age, combined with their economy, is just so hard to stop. Villese lost 5 villagers in feudal, and he sits here in a dominant position, most likely going to win the game. The skirmishers are being microed perfectly against the Mangudai. Notice they're not really hitting the Hussars, so he's tasking them to do that. And, well, villagers here are going down. Dragonstar's pop is at 130. All of this eco's exposed. Still, Villese is just being as cool and calm as he can. It will be interesting to see who gets first place in this group. Because Villese showing Hera that maybe Hera's got to continue his good results because Villese wants first place. Damn. Again, I'm gutted for Dragonstar, but Villese is just an elite player. He's absolute elite player. Aztecs in Castle Age, they are the better civilization. And we talked about the potential for Steppe Lancers. We did see some Knights. We did see some Cav Archers. But beyond the civs, man, I mean, the gameplay here was incredible. I think for Dragonstar, this is where the trade-off becomes difficult. His Castle Age time, I think, was too late, and Villese was able to catch up quite easily. But then your castle time's not going to be 21 minutes or 22 minutes if you invest into the amount of military that he did and the way he did. Now, I'm sure there's ways you can be a little faster, maybe 22, 30, 23 minutes. But if you make that much army and you play it as he played it, you're probably going to have a later uptime. And Villese knew that. And Villese was patient when he needed to be. He was aggressive when he needed to be. And let's see, what do we have with the eco? 4,500 gold brought in from relics. Dang. Oof. Why not mass scorpions? Well, forgetting the fact that heavy scorpion is really expensive, the eagles would just spread out and avoid it. If there's a tiny choke point and everything funnels through that choke point, I think scorpions is really good. Scorpions would be, I mean, they have no real bonuses except for the unique tech, which makes it faster. There's nothing special about Mongol scorpions, really. Not the type of game that would work there. Total resources collected also very close, 83,000. And there have been nerfs to the Aztecs, but also the Eagles. They increased the cost of Eagles, I think, multiple times over the last few years. And I'm not proposing that they need to change it. I actually think it makes it for a really interesting game. Aztecs are just strong. And Villese is just strong. He had the extra gold. That relic gold made all the difference. If he had maybe 2 relics and Dragonstar had 3, there's a chance that Villese doesn't get the critical amount of Eagles and Trebs and whatever he needed. Love this map, though. I think this map is incredible because players have to always expand out to the extra gold piles. It's a constant talking point. And on Arabia, let's say, players don't need the neutral golds as much. So that's probably my favorite part about Serengeti. Game number 3, Dragonstar is still hungry for a victory. This is the last map I would have ever expected Villese to pick. Villese goes for Houseboat. Also, Dragonstar, tell me you know that you don't necessarily need to build 2 houses at the start on Houseboat, because you do start with a house here. This is showing me maybe a little bit of lack of preparation from Dragonstar, but maybe I'm freaking out too much. We have Japanese for Dragonstar. You're going to see both players take their shorefish around their TC. then ferry their villagers over to likely chop wood at the start. We will then see docks. The ideal dock position is normally on the outer ring, so you can take more shorefish. So maybe something like this or this would work. Give you a bit of a food boost. I have been all over the place with my civ preferences on this map. I think Mayans are top tier, Chinese are top tier, Japanese are top tier. Malay, probably another one to consider. And potentially Lithuanians, though I'm not the biggest fan of Lithuanians for this. So anyways, these guys have definitely wound up with civilizations that I would see as strong. Now, Japanese, I think they have bonuses that make them very strong with the water play. But I do find them worse on land than, say, Chinese or Mayans. So my personal preference as a player is to avoid the Japanese and go for Mayans or Chinese. And then just not take any losses on water. And then try and transition it into archers. Now, here's the thing. This could be Dragonstar's thinking. Like, his mindset would be, okay, well, then I'm going to go offensive if I'm Japanese. And if I can get a really good build down, maybe I can get on his water, which is a strat. And then take out his fish, and then he can never really kill my fish. The house here is actually... I was nitpicking a little bit. This house is not necessarily bad, but you start with a house. So you start with 10 pops. So you actually don't need a house right away. But I was just a little alarmed by it initially because you just rarely see that. But obviously not the biggest deal. Villese lost 2-1 to Hera. But those were the only 2 games that he lost. And then for Hera, the only game that he lost was up against Villese. That said, Villese will have to play Yo. Hera did already play Yo. So this group is looking like we thought it would be. We still have sets to be played, of course, but it feels like it's going to be like Hera, Villese, Yo. Or maybe Hera, Yo, Villese, depending on how some of those sets go. Yo's point tally isn't that high, but he has Villese, and I think he has Villese and he has Barles. I mean, honestly, he lost 2-1 to Bruh. So Yo can't just relax. I think his point tally can be a little bit deceiving. Yeah, I think Dragonstar's played really well. I think what is going to hurt for Dragonstar is that he's only been able to get wins against one player. And I think the series, which might determine who goes up and who does not, is gonna, or sorry, who stays up and who does not in this group, is probably going to be when Dragonstar plays Bruh, and then also when Barles plays Bruh. Because it's like the top 3 and the bottom 3, 2 out of the 3 players, the bottom 3 have to go out because 4, 5, and 6 get relegated. So at least on paper, with the results that they've had amongst each other, Dragonstar winning 2-1 versus Barles is huge. I don't think Barles and Bruh have played yet. I think they play this week. And then we'll have Dragonstar and Bruh eventually. So, I guess we'll see. But yeah, like, Dragonstar could have won so many games. He could have won a game against Hera. He could have won a game against Yo. And... Wait, Barles already played Bruh? Ooh, when was that? Can you tell me when that was? I don't know if that's... Hold on. I don't know if that's on my casting lineup. No spoilers, please. I gotta see if that's on my casting lineup for tomorrow. Apparently, there's like 8 sets within the next 24 hours, and there's no way I'm doing 8 sets tomorrow. But yeah, I agree with you. Dragonstar is playing really good, and I think he honestly looks like the 4th best player in the group right now. The results have to show that. Also, I'm slightly biased towards Dragonstar because I think he's the type of player you want to succeed in this game. He's put a lot of effort in, not that the others have not. But he's a creative strategist. We haven't maybe seen some of his creative strategies in this series, but he can do some really cool stuff. All right, Dragonstar on the way to feudal, as is Villese. If we're going to see someone dock the opponent's pond, now would be the time to send villagers forward. With the walls for Dragonstar, I don't think that'll be the case. And then Villese. Also, I mean, he's gone double mill, which is interesting. And he is also not sending vills forward, so we might not see anyone go forward here. Even if Dragonstar goes down, he's got such an exposure in Platinum that it will build him a following and storyline for when he's going to get promotion in Gold. Yeah, I agree with you that it's definitely added to that. I think he's been gaining more of a name for himself over this year for sure. But I don't know, man. Gold has looked really competitive. Like, I think anyone who gets relegated down to Gold is going to have to fight really hard. It's not like they're just going to be a given to get promoted back up. But the good news is that that's actually, with the way we're structuring this event, it's actually on the cards, right? You don't have to worry about losing, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to fight my way back. I won't be invited or whatever. All right, so are they both going Fast Castle? Kind of looks like they both want to go Fast Castle. We have Mill over here for a boar. Also some deer there. That's a good spot for Villese. Almost thought a villager was going to go down there, but no, it's fine. Transporting sheep to the villagers underneath the TC. Market for Dragonstar. Blacksmith's already up for Dragonstar, so he just needs the gold. And yeah, this is Fast Castle. Fast Castle, boom. And at least based on the food count right now, better execution from Dragonstar. So I think that he's going to be more at the limit when he makes it. And I think Villese will have the food and probably more resources to work with when he makes it to Castle Age. I wish you could transport boars. That'd be funny. You can transport sheep. You can't transport boars. Yeah, this is really good for Villese. I love this. Okay, so yeah, he'll click up. Obviously a little bit later, but I don't think that's that big a deal. This is what Nikov had mentioned some people might do on this map. And then he never did it in any of his games. He was like, yeah, all people are going to do is just defend their own pond. No one's ever going to go forward. And finally, we're seeing it. So, meta changed for Houseboat. And yeah, let's actually look at the food collected right now. See what I mean? So, you're going to be in Castle Age later. But I think, especially once all this hunt gets brought in, I think Villese is going to have more to work with. He'll probably be able to research more technologies, maybe drop a second TC or something. And dang, they're like doing the same thing. Both adding a barracks now. Villese didn't scout the barracks. And Dragonstar might scout the barracks on this side. I mean, I knew going into this Killer Cow that I wouldn't be able to cover every single set. I've kind of surpassed my goals for coverage so far in the group stage. Covering majority of sets. I think I've only missed like 4 or something. And we'll see. I'll probably miss a few more in group stage. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the coverage. We'll be covering the final conclusion, or the conclusion of from the round of 12 to the round of 8, the quarters, everything. I guess round of 8 is quarters, but all that will be covered in full for Platinum and Gold. So I don't think I should really just break myself and do like 14 hours tomorrow. TC's there, and very similar styles. But here's my talking point. Chinese should own here, right? Cheaper technologies, knights and camels. Actually get stronger knights as well. More versatility overall. So if I wanted to do something like this, I'd play like Mayans or some civ I thought could maybe compete with like that long run against the Chinese. But I don't know. We'll see. Nice little snipe there for Villese. It's actually our first kill in the game. He comes back. He already has monks coming out. Dragonstar desperate to get a kill here. Dragonstar forced to run away. Both players going for the same thing in the middle of the map. Now to execute on your economy, as well as all the conversions, as well as all the attacks, is just insane here. This is going to be really complicated. It's wild to me how they're doing the same thing. I've seen mirrored strategies when it comes to the water, but have it be this is certainly some special stuff. Villese is going to run away with some weak knights. Dragonstar has to respect the fact that there's a monk out there that can't necessarily move forward. He is adding a lot of spearmen. That would be maybe the one difference between the two right now. And come on, Dragonstar needs this. Oh, that's huge. The Dragonstar's adding spearmen is Japanese, so he's not doing the same thing. because they do attack much faster than normal spearmen would at this stage. And he killed a monk. And now it's extremely awkward for Villese to send another monk out because he doesn't have the protection of this of his army here. A little shocked that we haven't seen Villese move this scout in to try and take the monk out. We do actually have a transport for Villese. He's still ferrying villagers over, and he's like, Frank, I'll save you. There he goes. Convert the transport. Ah! Great job from Villese to kill that monk. Wouldn't that have been funny if he converted the transport ship there? Dang. And I guess you just delete it then, because you don't want it to be converted back. 5 villager kills and then taking out the transport, which would idle all the new villagers here. So not quite a mirror game because of the spearman count. Dragonstar is just going to move out here now and try and take out the buildings. Lovely move. I think this is the perfect play. I'm very happy to see Dragonstar taking a bit of initiative here and trying to break the meta that apparently these players agreed exists for this map. Third TC obviously delayed for Dragonstar, but I think having some map control can be really nice here. And we actually have Villese getting Sanctity now. We'll see if it completes. And he's just going to make another monastery at home. Yeah, there's a very good chance the Sanctity will complete, because I think Dragonstar is going to pop out and kill the monk for a second, which will stop him from hitting the monastery. There you go. You should probably hit the monk. Let's see if I'm right. Hits the monk. It's so close. Nope. Won't get it. It's a doubt Sanctity. Here come the knights on this side, though. And that's 2 villager kills for Villese. So 4-1 with Vill kills. Obviously very annoying right now if you're Dragonstar. And he'll just send his own knights over there to deal with that. He's actually trying to mill deer at this stage. I'm not a fan of that. I would prefer to just focus on farms, but I guess you could mix it up. Love the positioning of the farms for Villese. It feels like there's a lot more security. He's not investing towards the middle a lot right now. But I'm not really sure what type of unit he's going to make right now. It would feel natural to go to stone and maybe go into Chukonu. Maybe he's doing that now. Maybe he's thinking about going to stone so we can go for a castle later. Dragonstar's scouts over here, scouting the map. It's been all over. It almost looks like auto scout right now. Okay, underneath the TC. Is this auto scout? That's auto scout. Dang, okay. 62 eco versus 61. Another game where Dragonstar is showing how good he is, man. He is a really good player. The 2-0 on the scoreline does not really tell the whole tale of this series right now. There's a light cav choice for the monks. The spearmen are protecting the monks, though. Sanctity for Dragonstar. You guys know how I feel about that. Is a mill on deer faster food than farming or just cheaper? I think it's more... So the reason I'm not a big fan of it is just because it's another tiny little thing you have to pay attention to, and farms just reseed throughout the rest of the game. If you had, like, super crazy APM, then yeah, you could, like, take the deer because you're not investing in the wood into the farms, and then you add the farms. Again, I'm very opinionated character, so I bring stuff like that up. It's not a big deal. But certainly farming eco and some fish traps possibly going to be a big thing at this point. Dragonstar. Oh, important moment in the game. He's going to get Atonement, which means he can convert enemy monks because he really wants this position right now, and he doesn't feel like going into light cav. Wow, he saw the outpost going up, and he actually has repositioned his siege workshop, which is so epic. And Atonement is never something you're going to expect to see if you're Villese. So you could move out and... Will the old men be swayed? Will the old men be swayed? They will not be swayed. They do not want to switch sides. They like their religion a lot. Dragonstar's old men, though. They might want to die. No, they're not. Little siege push here from Dragonstar. Where did this come from? Suddenly, Villese, he's considering a tower here. He might be forced into guard tower if he's worried about siege monks snowballing on him. I believe the Chinese do get Atonement if you wanted to go for the same tech, but I'm not sure it's as helpful here. Pikes into the TC. This is probably just Dragonstar adding eco at home. Yep, he's done that as he added his TC. 4th TC also going up for Villese on the food there. This is another example. Like, his food count's going to spike because he's adding tons of vills there. But there will be a point where it'll all run out. And if he doesn't plan ahead, it could be a problem for him. We'll see what the tower move ends up doing. Dragonstar with a nice little spot. But if you were to lose the knights, everything could fall apart. Man, the tower could also hit the monks. This is such a good game right now. Holy, this is such a good game. Dragonstar is in a position to drop a castle, but I don't think you'd want to do that right now. Runs away with the knights. Crossbows might go in for the pikemen. Crossbows might go in for the monks at any time, but obviously the siege can hit this. This is such a diverse game, guys. One of the knights gets converted, but the knight will switch back. It was a trick. He won't switch back, excuse me. Guard tower is in. Monks are dying. Knights are switching sides and dying. I think the guard tower defense is going to be enough here for Villese to hold against this. He will get hit, though. His crossbows could die. And for Dragonstar, I don't think you can be too upset about what's happening here. You're killing crossbows. You're still applying pressure to your opponent. You're hoping your opponent's eco will be worse off after this as well. Obviously could be. These villagers clearly wanted more stone, and there's no more stone on this side. Still, villagers will die. Crossbows could go down, but it's such a close game, guys. Villese has so much food at the moment. And Villese wants to die for the monks. Those conversions started a long time ago, and the light cav could switch sides here. That's rare. And some of them do. Now +2 armor is in for the knights. Now, Dragonstar has had the stone for a long time to be able to drop a castle. And the way he's played this makes it feel like he might go for a forward castle. But I think he actually needs to think twice about that, because Villese still has a nice army, and he's been building it up. The villagers are going to have to walk right through the middle, where there's currently army for Villese somehow. So, oh, jeez. Okay, he's going to go for it. He is going to go for it. But he's got no army over there. And okay, he's thought twice about it. The siege hits Villese. Villese says, I don't care about siege. Who cares about siege? I'm going to bring the knights back against your siege. What is siege even? Look what those Chinese farms have done, by the way. Look, the farm count's been similar, but there's been so much food brought in from those farms. And lovely Chinese eco. Lovely play from Villese. How has Dragonstar not been able to break him? He's always had an answer. And he will continue to have an answer here, unless the castle does something. Here it goes! Villese, drop your own castle. He just placed houses here, so he might notice that. Also, Dragonstar is going to drop a dock, which would be epic. He could. That's the MTC. He probably won't take it out. And okay, Villese is going to drop his own castle. His crossbows and knights are on the way. Oh, no! This might not go up, man! It's not going to go up. It's not going to go up. Villese is doing the right thing. He's building with a lot of vills, but he's also hitting with other vills. And now he brings his army. This castle has to go up. If it doesn't go up, it's GG. Oh my god, no way. No way. No way. 97.2%. Oh, Dragonstar. God, he played so good here, but Villese is such a god. He's such a god. You know, the monk numbers and the crossbow numbers and timing the guard tower. Still, after all that pressure, 38 to 24 KD. His macro was so good behind a position which felt awkward, man. He didn't actually collect more resources. It was very close, but he did have more food. That's probably Chinese, to be completely honest with you. And Dragonstar, while he impressed, still has struggled to get a win against the big three in the group. So he has now been 3-0'd by Hera. He has been 3-0'd by Yo and 3-0'd by Villese. He won 2-1 against Barles, and he's got one set remaining, which will be against the Brazilian Bra, who's also going to be hungry for results. Now, I think if the Civ roles are reversed, I think that Dragonstar will always make a defensive castle with Chinese, but he will recognize that Chinese are just much better than Japanese as this goes towards Imp. And so that's why he went for this castle. That's why he went so aggressive. That was the correct play. I know that that looks like a risky castle, but after failing to push here and realizing the Villese was probably on the way up towards Arbalest, and just realizing what type of game this would turn into, I think he wanted to just throw his villagers forward and try and do something, right? Because as it stands, if you think about map control, he's got vision on the left, and if he were to complete this castle, he's denying resources on the right. And that could open up some possibilities for him in the Imperial Age to maybe swing sides and raid. Villese denied it, and he, like, after losing the middle, guys, he just made everything work. His eco's looking smooth. The crossbow timing was perfect. The monk timing. Never too much and never too little for Villese. It's just the perfect balance of things. At T90, do you know the win rate of Japanese? Every time I see them, they lose. Well, I think they lose here because they don't gain early advantages. And that's why, I have felt like Mayans or Chinese or some other civilization that's maybe better on land at this stage could be preferred. I think the win rate for Japanese is about 50-50. Like, you are right. They have been losing some cross games as well every now and then. But it's not like their win rate's in the toilet. I'll have to look it up. We do have a Google Doc for that.